What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Plans to conduct military exercises at a civilian airport on Tuesday were canceled, but Taiwan's military is still practicing how it would keep the country's aircraft safe from an attack from China. Jaime Okan explains.
Taiwanese fighter jets are getting ready to leave their home base. For the past 2 weeks, pilots across the country have been training for Taiwan's largest annual military drills, the Hangguang exercises, by flying back and forth across the main island. It's part of the military's plan to protect as many assets like fighter jets as possible in the event of an attack, and it starts with these pilots.
Planning is extremely important. You can't just expect people to be able to perform without proper training or planning. And I think that's what we should be focusing on, what Taiwan's armed forces should be focusing on in this upcoming exercise.
Taiwan's military was scheduled to use Taidong's Fengnian Airport, a civilian airfield, to practice how to land cargo planes and F-16s on Tuesday. But those drills were canceled due to weather concerns from nearby Typhoon Doxori. The exercises would have practiced a scenario where, in order to protect aircraft, Taiwan would pull back its planes from Western bases close to China and redeploy them to the East Coast. In the event of a war, this would help Taiwan preserve its fighter planes, but analysts argue that it's only part of the solution.
If a damaged plane lands there, well, do you have the repair parts? Do you have fuel, ammunition, that kind of thing already pre-positioned? Short of that, it's great to have a wider set of places to land in and to deploy from, but it's not going to complicate China's strategy unless you can have all those pre-positioned stockpiles.
China has ramped up its military presence and operations around Taiwan, and there are concerns that Beijing could be ready to launch an attack as early as 2027. While there's no sign of an imminent attack, Taiwan has doubled down on more mobile systems and hardware that has a greater chance of surviving, things like vehicle-mounted missiles and anti-tank weapons. This combination of protecting airfields and beefing up its arsenal is not just a display for the Hangguang exercises, but some analysts say it's also a demonstration for other countries to see just how prepared Taiwan is.
So the most important message to give China is that Taiwan can hold out. The military of Taiwan can defend the island for at least a month, enough time for the United States military to come to Taiwan's aid. So scale does matter to a degree, but some of the focus on defensive assets, dispersal, so it looks like the military can survive, keep on fighting, and create obstacles for the Chinese military.
Military strategists and officials here at Taiwan's Defense Ministry have been constantly changing and adapting the country's security strategy in light of an evolving situation with China. Now, this week's Hangguang military exercises are a chance for the country to test its response plan to see if they're effective in ensuring the country's security. Andy Shui and Jaime Okan in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Tuesday was the second day of Taiwan's nationwide Hangguang military exercise. As Rick Glaude reports, a major component of this year's drills is protecting the country's critical infrastructure.
Here on the coast of southern Taiwan, the country's military and police are practicing how they would defend a major liquid natural gas terminal. It's part of that national Hangguang exercises, nationwide drills that practice the country's response to an attack by China. This year's focus, protecting and preserving key infrastructure.
在每一次的预演，也让我们协同作战更加纯熟。相信未来有一天状况发生，我们一定能够以最快速、最有效的协同合作，展现全民总力运用的连战效能。
Taiwanese live under constant threat of invasion from neighbouring China, which says Taiwan is part of its territory and has not ruled out taking it by force. This year, the Hangguang exercises have taken on extra significance. Beijing has recently increased what is known as its grey zone warfare against the island nation. Cyber attacks, misinformation, and sending military boats and planes around Taiwan. Taiwan has also been watching Russia's invasion of Ukraine, finding parallels in a country fighting off a much larger foe. Russia's targeting of Ukrainian infrastructure, such as power plants, has made Taiwan rethink its defence strategies. With Taiwan importing most of its fuel for electricity production, that's been highlighted as a potential defence weak spot. The exercises this week are a stress test of Taiwan's ability to defend itself under pressure. And keeping the country running by protecting infrastructure like this will be crucial in the event of a war. Justin Wu, Sam Hui and Rick Lowett in Kaohsiung for TaiwanPlus.
Breaking news coming out of China, where Foreign Minister Qin Gang has been removed from his post. The move comes after Qin disappeared from the public eye for a number of weeks. Chinese President Xi Jinping appointed Qin to the post in December of 2022. His replacement is China's top diplomat Wang Yi. Wang was China's foreign minister before Qin. Taiwan's Premier Chen Jianren has warned the public to be vigilant against disinformation from China. He was referring to a viral video accusing the U.S. of trying to start a war with China over Taiwan.
对于台湾实施这一个假消息的这一个攻击还有做认知战的这个攻击呢，我们希望民众呢大家都能够提高警觉。
On Monday, a propaganda clip from 2021 was reposted to the social media platform TikTok. It claimed the U.S. was seeking to goad China into a war in the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan's foreign ministry condemned the video as part of a 2-year-long disinformation campaign by Beijing. The ministry has urged China to stop using intimidation tactics against Taiwan. Taiwan has seen its first death from dengue fever of the year. The Centers for Disease Control says a woman in her 40s died in the southern city of Tainan last Friday. She had been admitted to the hospital 3 days earlier. There have been 630 recorded local cases of dengue fever in Taiwan so far this year, the large majority of them in Tainan. It's the country's worst outbreak since 2015, when there were over 40,000 cases and more than 200 deaths from the disease. Taiwan is preparing for Typhoon Doxori. Sea and land warnings for the storm have now been issued. Doksuri is not forecast to pass directly over Taiwan, but its outer edge could make landfall in the country's south, causing strong winds and heavy rainfall. Cities and counties are now preparing for the oncoming typhoon, including suspending some flights. Farmers have also begun storing fruit and securing their crops. This is the first typhoon to directly affect Taiwan in over 3 years. Officials in southern Taiwan are racing to salvage hundreds of shipping containers from a sunken cargo ship before Typhoon Doxori arrives. But as Jeremy Olivier reports, the boat's scattered contents are not the only problem they face.
This cargo ship, or what's left of it, is now at the bottom of Kaohsiung Harbor in southern Taiwan. The Palau flagged ship was anchored around 5 kilometers from shore, but it started taking on water last week, finally sinking on July 20th. It's causing increasing concern among local authorities. They're now working to retrieve as many as possible of the vessel's more than 1,300 shipping containers before the approaching Typhoon Doxori hits. Only around 200 containers have been brought in so far.
有一些是属于我们这个港务公司海洋局所管辖的这个部分，我们会提高这个戒备那也希望说能够把这个损害降到最低。
Another problem is the 500 metric tons of oil on the sunken ship. If the oil can't be secured before the storm arrives, leaks could contaminate a large part of Taiwan's southern shoreline. As officials race against the clock to secure the wreck and its contents, surrounding communities are hoping for the best. Eason Chen and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's Postal Service is putting a pause on handling mail sent from Shenzhen in southeastern China. This comes after 3 people in South Korea were hospitalized after opening a package from China. The package had come to Taiwan before being forwarded to South Korea. Authorities there say they have received over 2,000 similarly suspicious packages. 90% of the mail Taiwan forwards from China reportedly comes from Shenzhen. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of divers jumping off the Kosovo Bridge in Pristina, Kosovo. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.